time of the day again, 9:30 a.m. right here on the Beat 99.9 FM, and the Catalyst is in the building.
Well, today is not about Chris Brady.
Nope, it's not about me.
Today is about a special guest that we've got in the house today. And her name is Dolapo Oni, and she goes by the full name of Marcy Dolapo Oni. She is an actor, a presenter, a master compere. She even dances and sings, because when I went to watch her on Saturday, I was like, hey, now wow. So I'll call her that multi-talented chick. Dolapo. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Wow, thanks for coming.
No problem.
So, Nigeria has done that transition.
Yes.
You know, for the first time, we're moving from one party system to another.
I know,
even though
history
we've
has
been in
been
this
made.
democracy thing for a while.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's quite amazing, you know. I mean, we have the word change flying all over the place, and I think everyone is really praying that there is going to be some semblance of change. But I also think that we also need to be patient, because I don't think it mattered who the president was. I mean, it mattered obviously, but whoever was going to get into power, the country is not in the best state. So it is going to take a bit of patience. But you were saying before about what stood out about the speech, and for me, it was the phrase, "I am for everybody and I am for nobody."
Man, that stood out for
That
me,
was
man.
deep. I'm sure there were a few politicians
that was
watching.
definitely deep.
I'm sure there were a few politicians watching thinking, what's he talking about?
I'm for
Nobody.
everyone, but
And
I'm
I'm
for
for
nobody.
nobody.
I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, okay.
Nobody
Exactly.
owns me, man.
Yeah.
Right?
No Godfather anywhere.
There's no one pulling my strings.
So all those
Nobody.
migrating to Abuja, you might want to like start trekking back. You know.
No, the beauty of that phrase for me was validated one of the things I've always said, that you know what, these guys from the north are so politically astute that they will do what they need to do to get to where they need to get to. And when they get there, you know what? They're going to do what they need to do.
Yes.
I mean, this guy has been running for this office for the last 3 times. This is his 4th time. He's what, 72 years old. What is
Very
it?
persistent.
What is he living for? He's not going to be chopping money. This guy, I believe, wants to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
And so all of the system that operates, I don't think is going to succumb to it. You know, godfatherism. You know, you have to pay me back because
I
I
put you
sponsored
or whatever,
you, I put you there.
Yeah, I think it's all he has to live for right now is his honor,
That's
his
it.
name.
Yeah,
So
you know,
he
at
needs to, like,
72,
yeah.
come on. Man.
True, exactly. So
You know, anyway, it's not about Buhari today. It's about Dolapo today. But you know, I like the fact that Dolapo, you started out by talking about change.
yes.
And I know that you're at a point in your life also where you're transitioning, or you've already transited from doing other people's shows,
Yes.
other platforms, other people producing shows that you've been the presenter in to something else.
Yeah.
So what is it? What's the change that is happening with you?
Well, it's very interesting, because when I first started presenting, I felt like, I did my first year and on a show called 53 Extra, and I remember a lot of people saying, "You're really good, you should have your own show, you should have your own show." And I always knew I would have my own show, but I never quite understood why. And I also think it's outside pressure. People make you feel like you need to do it now, And I knew at that time I wasn't ready. I'd been presenting for a year. A lot of people don't know that I actually have a background as an actor, because I went to drama school.
Okay.
So it wasn't a case of I didn't want to have my own show. I needed a certain amount of experience to not just have my own show, but to understand what it was I was trying to project about myself. So I did that show for 3 years. I was on Moments with Mo for the last 2 years. And then, I just thought, okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to have my own show. Now I'm ready to go down a certain path, portray and let people see me in a different light. And also, 5 years as working as a presenter, you know what goes into production, So, because I'm the executive producer of my own show, so when you have that, when you're carrying that kind of thing on your head, presenting is the last thing you want to worry about. But now I have so much experience in presenting, I didn't really have to think about that when I was doing everything else.
Wow,
So,
you know,
yeah.
something else that I picked out of, when you were analyzing Buhari was patience.
Mm.
And a lot of Nigerians, especially in business or in their chosen fields of endeavor, they don't exhibit that quality.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about, you had to be patient, you had to build experience,
Yeah.
and you had to learn, even though you were trained
Yeah.
as an actor. Tell us about that.
Well, how long do you have? I'm
No,
joking.
we've got time. How did you get into all of
Okay.
this? People need to know,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
a lot of people have said, Dolapo is such a great presenter, So, what made you?
Mm.
What were the things, the various parts of it that made you such a great presenter?
Okay, well, I'll quickly tell you how I got into acting. So I was shipped off. Let me not say shipped off. My parents took me to the UK to study when I was 10, and that was the first time I saw a musical. It was called Aspects of Love at the Oxford Play. The fact that I even remember Aspects of Love by Andrew Lloyd Webber at the Oxford Playhouse in Oxford, where I was at school.
At what age?
At 10.
Wow.
And I remember watching it on stage and just thinking it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. People singing and dancing and jumping up and down. And I was thinking, this is a job, So a few years later, we had like a careers evening. And at the careers evening, it's trying to find out, so during GCSEs, what you wanted to do in university. And when I was young, I kept going on and on about how I wanted to be a doctor. I think every child says they want to be a doctor at some point,
Yeah.
So my parents really...
Pressure from your parents.
Yes, my parents really took that to heart. So there was a queue for medicine and there was a queue for drama. And the queue for medicine was really long, so I went to the queue for drama. And I think my mum, I went back to London for half term or something. And my mum was asking, so, Dolapo, the careers evening, how did that go? What did the medics say? And I was like, Mommy, that medicine queue was so long, but I went to the drama queue. She was like, I remember we had shopping bags. She just dropped the shopping on the floor. I started screaming at me in the middle of the street. She was like, She was like, actor? You want to act? You want to be earning 5,000 naira a year? This is what she was saying. And I was just like, so I kept quiet and I just didn't say anything. And then I finished school. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I got a degree in chemistry. Wow. This is the fast-forwarded version. Yeah, because I was good at chemistry at school. Chemistry at university, I wasn't so good, but I passed. And when I did that, and my parents were happy, I said, now I want to do what I actually want to do. I want to go to drama school. And they said yes. And that's kind of how like going to drama school happened. But I would say the presenting thing, it does go hand in hand because the skills you're taught at drama school is sort of, I don't even know if there's presenting school, but it is similar. It's about speech, it's about how you present yourself, it's about confidence. When you're acting, presenting is acting, quote unquote, to a point. Obviously, you're more like yourself, but you're still presenting information and acting, you're still presenting a character. So it's not that far-fetched that an actor can become a presenter. As you can see on TV, a lot of actors do a lot of presenting work as well. So I think...
you take on a role as a presenter?
Yes, well, you take on yourself, but you're still... I think my drama school training has helped me with presenting, wow. Definitely.
Fantastic. Okay, so Dolapo, we were talking about what qualities you need to succeed in this field, and I, after you finish, then we'll see whether it's the same qualities you need to succeed in life.
Okay.
So for you to have excelled in acting, I know you've done a few dramas,
yeah.
stage plays, movies. You used to act in Jacob's Cross?
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
That was my very first African gig, actually. Wait, was it? Yes. Yes, it was, actually.
Wow.
It was like 2011 or 12, I can't really remember.
And Jacob's
the
Cross
last
was
season.
hot.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so tell us a few things that you've done.
Okay, so I've done Jacob's Cross, I did For Colored Girls, which was a few years back. I've done Sorrow twice. I have a movie coming out in August called The Diary of a Lagos Girl, where I play the lead. That's my first proper Nigerian movie, like Nollywood movie. And before that, obviously, I was working in the UK. I did a play called Iyaile, which was actually nominated for a Laurence Olivier Award, which is like, it's like the Tonys, the British Tony Awards. I was in a BBC 2 series called Vexed. So I've done a few things here and there,
Wow.
It's been good.
So what's your secret?
So you were talking about qualities, but before I even go on to the qualities, it's passion. Because I think being in the creative arts industry, being an entertainer, I don't think you can fake passion in the sense of you have to be passionate about it, because as much as, you know, people see the glitz and the glamour, you see us on red carpet, my hair is done, my makeup's done, you don't know the work it has taken to get to that point. It is very, very stressful. There's a lot of waiting around. There's a lot of late hours. You'll be filming into the night, you know what I mean? And it's very, very tiring stuff. So I would say, for me, it's definitely having the passion. And for me, passion is, would I be able to do this job and earn no money for it and be happy? I'm not saying that if anyone is out there and wants to hire me, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when you're starting out, there's certain things you do for free because you love it so much. And then you gain recognition, and then you can start making money out of it. So for me, I think my secret is passion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. This is completely different from every talk show. So on each show, you would have a lot of viewers.
Mhm.
What are the critical things that, you know, they will take away? What is your message?
Well, I would say my message is, don't be afraid to try anything. Legal, obviously. But don't be afraid to try anything. I always think that I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. I'm a worrywart, like I worry a lot. But sometimes, and my show has actually forced me, if you told me 2 years ago this is what I'd be doing, I would have said no. But I just said to myself, you know what, I need to push the boat, I need to push the envelope. What can I do? And me hanging out, when I was filming that scene, right, me hanging out of a downhill, I was petrified.
Wow.
But you know, when you're actually in it and you're doing it, you're not really thinking about, oh, am I going to fall? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? You just have to go for it. And afterwards, I do look back at the footage and I think, did I really do that? Did I really do that? So I would say for people, the message they can take is, you know, don't be afraid. Like, if you want to do something, just go out there and try it. What's the worst that can happen?
That you fail.
Yeah, and then you try it again.
Yeah.
And then it might work.
What we always say on VOE is that failure is only feedback.
Yeah.
You know, you need to know that you've done something that you can change and work towards achieving your dreams. So after the Marcy Project, what next?
So, well, Marcy Project, then I'll be thinking about, well, during the Marcy Project, I'll be thinking about season 2, of course, because I want it to continue. I've been getting a few calls. I have a few meetings for plays, some more plays. The movie's going to be coming out in August, like I mentioned, so there'll be a lot of press around that. I'm getting married this year, so that's also, you know, that's like a job actually.
Preparing for the wedding.
Yes, it's actually like a job. Not that I didn't realize, but you know, with our culture, 2 weddings. It's not one wedding. There's a traditional and there's the white wedding. And and then something that I've also been doing, which I'm really, really interested in, is, apart from MC, and a lot of people know I MC events, is I don't know if I can really say I'm a motivational speaker. I can't say that yet because I seem to be invited to a lot of talks to talk to young girls. Like I did something this week at Unilag. It was called the National Youth Women's Summit. And I was talking to about 500 girls from different secondary schools. And it's literally I just talk about my experiences so far and how I've gotten to where I am. And I don't even think I've made it yet. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you know, look at me. But I just talk about my experiences, and a lot of them, as you said, they talk about self-confidence and how, you know, the green-eyed monster, you feel your friend is richer or is better looking and all that kind of stuff, and how you can build your own self-confidence and, you know, work with what you have. So
if you're gonna give some of our listeners out there, we've got 1 million listeners on radio and about 2.5 million followers on Twitter, and we're tweeting you know, this show. What are your tips, personal tips on how to build self-confidence, and how important do you think self-confidence is relative to success?
I think self-confidence is key. I really think it's key because it's about self-belief, you know. I mean, I think there's probably, like, I could list 100 things, but from the way you carry yourself, if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, or you feel like you're putting on weight, walk around. I'm not saying go and join the gym and, you know, do 10,000 squats. Walk around. I always say to people, if you look great, you feel great. So, you know, put on a nice dress, put some makeup on. I'm like the laziest person when it comes to my appearance, but sometimes I make that extra effort. And the other thing I would always say is, this is my motto: be the best you can be. You know,
Be
there's
the
a
best
best you can be. There's a quote by, is it Oscar Wilde, if I'm correct? Be yourself, everyone else is taken. There's no point trying to look at, I feel like we all have a path. If I start looking at this person, like for example, a girl called Tola on my right, I'm going to get completely swayed off my track. And then I'm trying to be like her because she's successful. But that's not what, maybe I'm not meant to be successful at this point in my life. Maybe it's supposed to be at a different point. So I always say, stick with what you're trying to do. You have your goals and do what you need to do to get there.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So one last word for our listeners out there. This is what you do for a living.
Yeah.
And loads of people out there, that would like to know exactly what they can do with you. So I know you've said that, you motivate people, you speak to the youth. So just quickly roll out all the things that, you do.
Things I do for a living?
Yeah.
So, I mean, as people, I think what I'm widely known for is acting and presenting. Acting. I've done Jacob's Cross. I've done a show called Vex in the UK, BBC, which you can actually get online. I've done a lot of stage plays for colored girls. Sarah, I did at Christmas. Sarah, I did this Easter. If it's on again, make sure you watch it. It was a sold-out show. It was absolutely amazing. I have a movie coming out in August. I think it's August 22nd. It's called The Diary of a Lagos Girl, where I played the lead with me. I was there. Aduni Ade, Uzi Ukeji, Alex Okubo, Linda Joffa. Liz Benson actually was in it. Yes, I was actually quite starstruck. So
you starstruck?
Yes, I was
so
starstruck.
It happens to the best of you guys.
Of course.
Wow.
So that was really, really amazing. Presenting wise, 53 Extra I did for 3 years. Moments with Mo I did for 2 years. I have my own show coming out today, the Marcy Project, which will continue for many, many years to come. I've emceed quite a lot of events. I'll just name a few. Malta Guinness, Nokia, Ebony Live TV launch, various African Magic shows and products that they've had coming out. I've been a brand ambassador for Snap. That was pretty amazing, seeing my face on billboards across Lagos, and I even saw one in Calabar. I remember seeing that.
So, organizations that are looking for brand ambassadors,
Yes.
what are kind of things that they look out for? You were talking about confidence, and one of the things that you locked on to when you were talking about confidence is how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
And, I know you have a very good, image, and you project the right image, you carry yourself very well. What is the role of your personal brand and your personal image in success and in these kinds of things that you're doing?
I mean, I would say that the reason why I am picked for certain things or with certain brands is to do with the way I carry myself. I think it's a personal choice, The way I carry myself very well, I think. But I think a lot of that is just to do with the way I was brought up as well. Because certain things that not that you can't be taught, if it's not really in you, and someone else might not carry themselves that way and they get employed for that reason. But I remember, for example, Moet and Hennessy, they sent me to France to Roland Garros for the French Open as a VIP guest. And we went to taste the different champagnes, and it was an amazing weekend. And they chose me for that exact reason, because I wasn't too overexposed, and because of the way I carried myself, and they thought I would be a great representative for their brand. So yeah.
So your image is very critical.
Yes, definitely.
To how people receive you, and also, are you very choosy about the kind of clients that you work with for this reason as well?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I have turned down a lot of things, and that's also quite worrying, because you think, if I keep turning things down, nothing's going to come. But that's, ties in with patience. I have to choose a brand as they're choosing me that is going to work well with I'm a brand and they're a brand, and it needs to mesh well together. There's no point in me going with a brand that has completely nothing to do with my message. You know what I mean? So definitely, I am quite choosy.
So for you, it's not just about the money?
No.
Wow.
I mean, money's great in everything, but you don't want to sell yourself short.
So what are the 3 critical things that drive you in terms of your values, in terms of driving your business success, in terms of, that guide every decision that you make? one of it you said it is your image. What are the three critical?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say, yes, so image, passion, having to have a passion for it. I'm not sure if I can answer the question in like 3 words, but I would say if there are 3 things that I need for my work and the message I'm trying to drive across, I would say it's passion, hard work, and prayer. Those are the 3 things for me. Yeah.
Passion,
hard work, and prayer. Yeah.
Wow, why would you throw prayer into the mix?
Because I'm God-fearing, and he's the one that has put me where I am today. So.
Wow, I mean, it's quite impressive, to hear that, because not a lot of people that have, attained that level of prominence and popularity, go back and say that it's God, and mean that it is God, and tell us that, before we set out each day, or we commit it into God. And it's quite impressive.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming on the Be All You Can Be show, and it's quite interesting because some of the things that and most of the things you've talked about align with what we're trying to achieve on this show, which is helping our listeners out there be all that they can be. And so Dolapo is hinged on some critical things that are very, very important. It's the way you carry yourself is very critical. Your image, and be passionate about what you're doing. It's all about loving what you do and doing what you love. And don't be all about money. Be all about, enjoying what you do. Be all about your passion. And he also mentioned that self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-belief go a long way in, your success. And don't look at other people. She says just be yourself, because everyone else is taken. Wow, how do you feel? Knowing that you're going to be seeing yourself on television on your own show, the show that you have produced. How does
I
that
feel like breakdancing.
really?
I'm so happy. I'm actually very proud of myself, and I will be live tweeting. So you guys can tweet at me at Marcy Dolapo Oni, and I'll be tweeting if you like this, baby, like that, and more suggestions, of course.
I was with you on Tuesday.
Yes.
Where you did the official launch, and I saw a lot of clips of that show. She's gonna shock you out of your pants, literally shock you out of your pants, and it's true, she's going to break dance. I saw her break dance in
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, thank you for listening to Be All You Can Be.